Alright, well, I started this whole pet project, cupcake thing, with the intent of getting in some solid practice before the wedding, which is August 20th. Sometimes I feel like it backfired. Instead of actually taking my time and doing my best, I felt like it was a constant race against the clock. I mean, it started off really fun and tasty, but it morphed into this really unpleasant and daunting task. It came to the point where it was like, oh, it's Tuesday, what am I doing? Do you have any plans? Oh yeah, that's right, make some fucking cupcakes again. And I think I got really burnt out over it, and I think certain weeks it shows. But I also feel like that's a part of the point of the pet project. I need to fail, I need to fuck up, I need to experiment. Because how else am I gonna learn? Another reason why I chose to do this as my pet project is because I secretly wanted to work on my patience, and I'm a super impatient person, and I totally suck at following directions. It's not that I don't know how to read, or don't. If someone tells me to do something, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do the exact opposite. I will not follow anyone's advice. I won't go by the cookbook. It says throw in a pinch of salt, I'm going to grab a fist. I have no idea where I was trying to go with that. However, through my bouts of cupcake rebellion, they've proved not so tasty. I've learned my lesson the hard way when it comes to not following recipes to a T. I've made some pretty interesting concoctions and ugly cupcakes. Now I know what you're saying. None of the cupcakes you brought to class have been ugly. Or, not what you're saying, but what you might be thinking. That's because the rejects stay at home. That's what my mom and my family eats, okay? Not only have some of the cupcakes been nasty, sometimes the pressure of having to make them and wanting them to turn out right has made me a nasty person too. In the beginning, my boyfriend was all about helping me and offering to do, anything I needed help with. Now he knows better. I am the biggest control freak in the kitchen, and if one thing goes wrong, get out while you can, because I will make you cry. I'm not the kind of person that snaps at people, but if you become between me and my cupcakes, I can be a monster. Ugly cupcakes aside, I've made some pretty delicious mistakes, and I've come to the conclusion that cream cheese will make anything taste good. One of the more comical aspects of my pet project has been the transportation surrounding cupcakes. I live in San Jose, a good 45-minute drive out of the city on, an ideal day. Majority of the time I commute via Caltrain, and let me tell you, cupcakes and trains don't go hand in hand. You'd think if you saw a girl struggling with her hands full of dessert, most people would politely avoid bumping into you or let you go in front of them. Think again. As if I didn't look pathetic enough with my makeshift cupcake tray my mom sells Avon, okay, and I use her Avon box lids that she gets from the shipment as a cupcake tray, and I just cover the whole thing in tinfoil. But I have these, heartless cupcake haters who ruthlessly shove and cut me off. It just seems like the world's against you when you're trying to deliver cupcakes. Aside from the lack of common courtesy, I found that cupcakes have placed me in more awkward, attention-grabbing situations than I'd ever imagine. This is a screen cap of one of the notes I made on my iTouch one Wednesday morning. It reads, "Of course, the one day I look especially disgusting carrying an overstuffed backpack like a 7th grader, and a box of 24 cupcakes covered in crystal light. I just so happen to sit next to the most beautiful man I've ever seen, and he's actually talking to me and being really nice." Ugh. When I think about that morning, I can tell that this man genuinely pitied me, and he just really wanted one of my cupcakes. When I'm carrying cupcakes on the train, I kind of feel like I'm fresh meat. I mean, everyone's always staring at me, and depending on how well I wrap the cupcakes, there's almost that mysterious allure of what I'm carrying in the box that morning, paired with the sweet, lingering aroma of the frosting melting on the overcrowded train. And I'm totally not over-exaggerating when I say that the train's crowded. Public transportation can be pretty intimate. On Caltrain, there's these seatings where you're basically face-to-face, and it's like you're practically scissoring with a person. No thanks. And then, when the train finally gets to 4th and King, like clockwork, the same creepy, uncle-esque conductor hits on me with the same creepy line for who knows how many weeks. For me, "You're beautiful and you bake too?" as he pretends to get down on one knee. I basically, like, I nervously laugh and I power walk as fast as my cupcakes will let me. It doesn't end once I'm off the train. After the creepy guy, there's a good 15 minutes of dodging oblivious businessmen on their Blackberries, people on scooters and bikes, as I make my way through Selma to 60 Federal. Thanks to San Francisco's windy mornings, more than a few times I've had the tinfoil that I wrapped the cupcake tray in blow right up into my face. And it's not like I have my hands free, so I'm like walking with tinfoil on my face for like a good 30 seconds. And I can kind of see out of the corner of my eyes people in their cars laughing. I mean, I can't hear them, but in my head I can hear them laughing. Oh, look at that idiot with tinfoil on her face. Like, there's just... But... once I make it to 60 Federal, there's just this sense of accomplishment. If I make it to class in one piece, it's like this, aha, did it again, take that, cruel world. Through this whole process, I feel like I've investigated and I've uncovered cupcakes on a deeper level. There are two ideas that I'm excited about and I'm actually possibly considering one day pursuing. My first idea branches off the assignment Heather gave us about identifying a cultural movement, which I've renamed the Cupcake Exchange, playing off the same sort of idea of Tom's Shoes, which I totally didn't even think about until you mentioned it during my presentation a couple weeks ago. I was like, oh yeah, Tom's Shoes totally makes sense with what I was trying to do. But basically, playing off that sort of idea, I'd like to have a cupcake shop that supports foster children. Basically, cupcake for a cupcake, while letting kids actually get in the kitchen and be part of something creative. The whole idea is that I want these children to feel like they're not forgotten and that somebody out there actually gives a damn. I also want them to feel passionate about something that gives them hope, something as simple as a cupcake. Another cupcake endeavor that's sort of been chilling in the back of my head for the last few weeks is the combination project, which we worked on earlier in the semester. I collaborated with, well, I didn't really collaborate with her, just me and Anita from class. I used her passion for old Hollywood movies with my passion of baking, and I think it would be super awesome if I opened a bakery called the Cinema Cakes that offered movie-themed desserts. I imagine this totally over-decorated shop with all sorts of avant-garde cupcake creations. Now I'm talking like cupcakes named Overdose with this blood-like raspberry jam just oozing out of the side. Oozing like the blood out of Uma Thurman's nose in Pulp Fiction. That's the kind of cupcakes I'm talking about. As you can tell, I'm pretty excited about the whole thing. And honestly, I mean, as stupid and as cheesy and cliche and as culturally movement-ish as it is, I kind of want to get my cupcakes out there. I want business cards that say, Lizzie, the cupcake lady. It's just, it might not happen soon, but it will happen, and I feel like I have reason behind making my cupcakes, or a reason to make cupcakes versus, oh, cupcakes are pretty popular now, I think I'm just gonna jump on that bandwagon. There's passion behind why I want to do it, and I feel like I got the spunk to make cupcakes happen for me, but it's on the back burner for now. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll give you an update on how the cupcakes went at the wedding next semester, and have a good summer. Bye!